Good morning and welcome to today's mini presentation or seminar on 3 things you must know about buying a home with solar panels. I'm James Urquhart. Before we get started, since this video can be viewed all over the world, you need to know it's most relevant in the state of California, USA. In particular, residential real estate, 1 to 4 units, that is your typical home or condo purchase or sale. This is being recorded on October 16, 2014. Since you're going to be listening to me for a few minutes, you probably want to know just a little bit about me. Again, my name is James R. Urquhart III. I am a realtor in California. That means I'm a member of the National Association of Realtors, the California Association of Realtors, and the local Board of Realtors. I am both a real estate broker and an attorney. With respect to my licensure as a real estate agent, I was first licensed in 1978. My specialization is residential real estate in the Coachella Valley, which would include Palm Desert, Palm Springs, Indio, La Quinta, Indian Wells, and so forth. At the moment, my affiliated broker is Tarbell Realtors, proudly associated with Tarbell Realtors. I am also a California attorney at law. I first became an attorney in 1977. My specialization in the law is tax audits, tax litigation, and tax trials. Yes, I am a full-time real estate agent. I am also a full-time California attorney. Well, enough about me. Let's get right into the material. A little bit of a case study first to introduce the topic and what the issues are, what the controversies might be. This is in this situation, we have a homeowner that has installed some solar panels on his home. As is very typical these days, the solar panels were financed through a long-term lease, and that's what was done in this case. Solar panels put on the home under a long-term lease program. The homeowner decided to sell his home with the solar panels, of course, at a time when there was 19 years left on the lease. But what happened after that is the issues we're going to be talking about. He had one offer in 5 months, and as soon as the buyers found out about the long-term lease, they pulled back. The home finally did sell and the buyer took over the solar lease. However, in order to get the home sold, the homeowner had to price the house lower than houses without solar to get people interested. According to the real estate agent for this particular homeowner, the buyers were scared by the solar lease. This case study is taken from a Bloomberg article. You can go ahead and look at it yourself if you like. I have a full cite to the article at the end of the material. But for now, it's a 2014 Bloomberg article entitled Rooftop Solar Leases Scaring Buyers When Homeowners Sell. Again, I'll have a full cite to that article at the end. So we have a homeowner that is selling, and the first thing you need to know is that from the standpoint of the seller, logic says that solar panels add value to the home. But emotionally, they scare many buyers, particularly when the solar panels are not paid off. Leased panels result in a long-term obligation, not only to the seller, but then to the buyer of that home. That's not exactly a selling point. And the third thing you must know is that in California, solar panels installed under a program called the HERO program, HERO program, result in a bigger property tax bill for up to 20 years for the seller and all future owners of the property. Now let's go back through those one at a time and spend a little more time with these 3 important things that you must know. The first thing, see, these images kind of state the issue. Is solar panels clearly an added value to the home, or really is it an obligation not adding as much value as you might think? That's the issue that we're dealing with. From the buyer's point of view, solar panels may be a reason not to buy at the price asked, or for some buyers, not at all. Seller logic is that solar panels add value. But with respect to the buyer, the emotion is they're not always on board with the added value theme. Emotionally, solar panels scare many buyers, particularly when they're not paid off. Now, I know this is a very controversial topic. Sellers are very invested in their panels. They put in a lot of time and money into their solar panels, and really can't understand why anyone wouldn't love them as much as they do. Also, the players in the industry, there's now some big players in the solar industry, big companies, stock exchange companies, and they're pushing solar panels as a way to save money and increase the value of your home. So a lot of things are going on to make this a hot topic. However, the point is not the point I'm making is not to be pro or con solar panels with respect to being green and energy saving. Of course they are. The focus is on buyers buying a home with those panels. Not all buyers are on board with the long-term obligations or with solar panels at all. Of 10 qualified buyers that are able to buy the home, not all 10 buyers are going to love the solar panels as much as the seller, especially when there's a long-term obligation. The second thing that you need to know is that leased panels and even financed panels can result in a long-term obligation to the buyer. Again, not exactly a selling point. If the panels are leased, the buyer of that home has got to be on board with assuming a multi-year contract or obligation, and obviously that's going to make a lot of buyers nervous. Some buyers will walk away when faced with that. Some buyers will ask the seller to pay off the balance before they're willing to go forward with the deal, and that's going to be, in many cases, 15 years or more's worth of payments. Some buyers may ask the seller to lower the price of the home due to the lease obligation that's carried with that home and the solar panels. Also, you need to know that if a buyer is going to assume an obligation, whether it's a lease or finance panels, the buyer's credit has got to be approved by a third-party lender or the panel lessor. The solar panel leaseholder will need to approve the credit of the buyer as a new leaseholder, and you need to know the buyer could be rejected. So you may accept a deal. You're both trying to go forward with the deal. The buyer's credit is rejected because he can't get approval to assume the obligations with respect to the panels. And if there's a loan involved, the buyer not only has to get approved with respect to the loan to purchase the property, the buyer is now also going to have to be approved to assume the obligation for the panels. And they don't necessarily go hand in hand. You could be approved for one but not the other. Also, you need to know before the home sale can close, a home with solar panels, lease panels carry with them and finance panels carry with them lots of extra paperwork in the deal before it can close, like a lease assumption agreement, buyer's credit check, communications with a solar panel lessor or finance company, etc. There's a lot more involved to close a deal with solar panels. Note that real estate agents can't practice law. They're not licensed to practice law. So real estate agents can't advise the buyer or the seller on the existing solar lease. For the same reasons, real estate agents can't review or prepare legal documents like the solar lease transfer or the assignment of the lease. If the buyer or seller want to take the approach that these documents with respect to transferring the panel obligation from the seller to the buyer, if they want to take the assumption that these are simple and that no attorney is needed, they need to do so at their own risk. Real estate agents, any real estate agents listening to this, and homeowners, so you understand, real estate agents should get a release from both the buyer and seller that they cannot act as give any legal advice or prepare the documents with respect to the panels. Third thing you need to know, in particular in California, solar panels installed under the HERO program result in a bigger tax bill for up to 20 years for all future owners of the subject property. Now, the HERO program is an acronym. It stands for Home Energy Renovation Opportunity Program. As of October 2014, over 190 cities in California have the HERO program. 190 cities, so it's big. The HERO program provides financing to the homeowner for approved energy efficient, water efficient, and renewable energy products, and that's going to include solar panels on the roof. The HERO program finances 100% of the cost to purchase and install the eligible product like the solar panels. So this is very desirable to many homeowners. The HERO program offers low fixed interest rates, flexible payment terms of up to 20 years. Now here's the very interesting thing that buyers need to know, and sellers too, with respect to the HERO program. If panels have been installed and financed through the HERO program, repayments are included in the property tax bill. When the property is sold, the remaining payments are passed on to the new property owner. They appear on the property tax bill every year. The repayment of HERO financing is included, as I've said, in the property tax bill, which is delivered and collected by the county. You'll see, as a homeowner owning a home, a seller getting your annual property tax bill, a buyer, the next bill you get, you're going to see a line item for the HERO financing on your property tax bill. Under the HERO program, when you sell your property, the bigger property tax bill stays with the property. So the buyer may or may not be on board with this bigger property tax bill. If the buyer is planning to take out a loan, you need to know that complicates the buyer's getting a loan, because the home lender now has got to look at this extra lien on the property tax lien. They may or may not lend due to the HERO tax on the property. They might require you to jump through some hoops, pay off the amount due. These are new, and there will be hitches with respect to a buyer getting a loan on such a property, and even a cash deal, buyer paying cash. The buyer is going to be looking at that property, that extra property tax expense, for up to 20 years. So not all buyers are on board with solar panels when they're looking to buy a property. It does present some problems. Here's more on that article I was telling you about. It is a Bloomberg article. You can Google this. There's also a link here to it. Rooftop solar panel leases scaring buyers when homeowners sell. It's written by an author, Will Wade of Bloomberg. It is recent. Here's a link to it, but you'd probably be better off just Googling that exact article title, and it will come up in your Google search. One final thing I want to cover is a new law, Senate Bill number 871, effective June 20, 2014, amends California Revenue and Tax Code Section 73. Section 73 is important if you're a homeowner with getting solar panels installed, is because it's a property tax exclusion for the construction or addition of active solar energy systems on your home, like solar panels. That law, Section 73, the property tax exclusion, was set to expire or sunset in 2017. Senate Bill number 871 extends it to 2025. So that's not so much of an issue now. Without the Section 73 exclusion, without that tax exclusion, solar panels installed or constructed on a home would trigger a building permit. The building permit would trigger possibly a reassessment of the property, a supplemental assessment of the property, increasing the property tax. So because California is a green state and legislation is out there to promote the installation of green energy such as solar panels, Section 73 is on the books to make sure if you're a homeowner and you're installing solar panels on your home, you're not going to get a bump up in your property tax bill like you would if you're installing a pool or lots of enhancements or an extra bedroom on the home. Those would result, very likely would result, in an increase in your property tax bill. Solar panels won't because of Section 73, and the law has now been extended to 2025. There's a cite to the bill right there. That's a long site. You probably can't click on the link when you're watching this, so if you want more on this, just Google Senate Bill number 871. So there you have it, the pros and cons of solar panels from the viewpoint of a buyer or seller dealing with transferring a home with solar panels on them, in particular if the solar panels are leased or financed. Again, I'm James Urquhart. Thanks for watching. That's my son and co-agent there. He actually goes by James. I go by Jim. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.